Yo, what's up? Welcome back to Studio Time with Ryos, episode 55 in 2025. Happy New Year's, you guys. Today is New Year's Day, and I'm feeling very inspired to make some dark progressive house. Before we get into it, I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Stutterizer. Stutterizer is a new effects plugin by Repeat in collaboration with Revealed Recordings, and it's one that I've been using in a lot of my projects recently. The plugin is amazing for quickly adding movement to any sound. So, for example, we have this atmosphere bed, and if we open up Stutterizer, bang, movement. We could adjust the mix knob if we want to get a slightly different flavor, slightly different feel, and then also we have access to the sequencer, which is amazing. Check this out. It's so easy to quickly customize your rhythm. I absolutely love it. Now, Stutterizer is amazing for adding movement to a sound, but it's also really good for sound design. So check this out. We have this plain vocal right here. And we can go to Stutterizer, and so many great presets to choose from, but in this case, we can use 90s Shores. Dude, if that's not some sick background ear candy for your breaks, I don't know what is. As you can see, the presets are extremely powerful, and that's just one of many. So if you guys are interested in trying Stutterizer for yourself, Revealed is having a free 2-week trial period on their website, as well as a 40% off introductory sale if you guys do decide to cop, which I do recommend, as this is a very, very powerful tool for your productions. The link for it will be down below in my description. Thanks again to Stutterizer for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get right into it. Alrighty, ladies and gentlefish, we are here in FL Studio, and for today, I think I'm going to mainly prioritize making a drop and kind of going for the In My Bones new ID that Martin Garrix has been playing, if you know, you know, and Novocaine style progressive house. You could call it dark progressive house. I like to call it hybrid prog, but it hasn't really caught on yet. I like to think it's like a hybrid between progressive house and big room. But dark progressive house it is, because I really like for these drops to be moody and for the entire track to be moody. So, yes, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, where do we start today? Well, if we're going to prioritize the drop, which is what I'm thinking, I said we start by getting in some good sounds some new sounds. Let's see if we can quickly find a nice preset. I don't want to spend forever looking for one. So if we can't find one quickly, then maybe I could just start with using a sound that I already know works. But anyway, let's check out Nexus 5. Okay, no cap. I really don't feel like browsing presets right now. Let's just use presets that I know work well. I'm going to go to Spire instead. Let's go to my favorites. Now, I'm thinking in my head we start with a really basic sound. So, for example, nice and basic. This one's also pretty basic. And the reason I'm thinking that is because we can start with that kind of sound, and then we can build around it and make it more aggressive and more unique with additional layers. Yeah, I like this idea. We're going to go with this. And let me adjust my keyboard. Actually, rather, what I should do is I should go here and put the root note down. Yeah, because it was kind of playing a lower-ish note. So the other thing is we can get some background sounds in just to kind of create a vibe. It's something I like to do if I don't have a vocal or if I don't have any like direct source of inspiration. I like to try to create it with like some background sounds or something like that. I did drop volume 30 of the Ryos Patreon pack series today. A lot of good sounds in here, if I do say so myself. But let's go ahead and grab, like, this guy. Right. This is a very nice, run-of-the-mill atmosphere sound. And in my mind, today, I wanted to work in A minor. So let's see how that fares for us. Pitch that down to A minor. Ooh, actually, hold on, wait. There's this one, too, that's really good. If I pitch this up 3 semitones. And I like that better at F sharp. Yeah, okay, never mind. Let's stick with this one. Always got to try and assess your options, folks. Okay, so now I don't have any melody ideas in my head at the moment. So what I'm going to do instead of trying to create a melody is get like some kind of pad / like key chord progression thing down right now. And then from there, try to make a melody. And if there's no melodies coming to my dome, then I can browse my melody folder. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to make a bunch of melodies and then save them for later use. So we can try that if it comes down to it. But for now, let's see if we can get a nice little chord progression going. So I'm going to start with just your simple kind of saw chord sound. All right, so we're going to try to keep in mind dark vibe. That's like what I'm after. Very moody and stuff. Okay. Maybe C. No, hold on. E? Yeah, there it is. That's a little too happy though. Let's make another one real quick. Make a different chord progression. Sometimes what I like to do is I like to quickly cycle through ideas. So I try not to dwell on things. As I've gotten better as a producer, like overall, I'd noticed that one of the things that I started doing was quickly going through ideas. One tip that I can give you guys is everybody, even your favorite producers, my favorite producers, not everything they make is going to be a good idea. So you kind of need to just let everything come out and then work through the bad ideas, the good ideas, etc. And you know what? It might be more appropriate to get a bass line in first. For me, this is something that I like to do, especially when I'm trying to create darker ideas, because when you just have like a mean bass, no, meaner. Yeah. When you just have a mean bass and you create a bass line with an atmosphere that has that dark vibe, it's a lot easier to create a chord progression around that, I find. So let's listen to the Atmos, put in blank pattern here. So I love, I was gonna say I love D. I love how mean this is. So we need to incorporate the D somewhere. Let's do it. There we go. That's nice and mean. Maybe up. I'm hearing G. That's the note. Ready? Watch this. Bang. Yes. And then it goes back to A. So good. Okay. So now that we've got this bass line, it's going to be so easy to create chords because we kind of got the foundation. Go bang, bang. I'm going to invert them. So this will go to E, and then this will go to C. Now, I don't like the way this sounds in chords. Sorry, I was just trying something. Let me figure this out. So maybe we can go up to... We can hold this on A. Move this to D. Yeah, I like that better. So what I was going to say before, once I invert the chords, I kind of use this as a starting point, and then I do what I'm doing right now, which is move the notes and try to find like a unique combination, but one that also just sounds good. That way you don't have super basic triads or basic inverted chords. You can have, you know, something a little bit spicier. So I really like to pay attention to my top melody. So I like the idea of this going from B to C. Where should this go? Maybe this will just ring on C. This can go to F. This will stay on F. And maybe we'll move this to A. Try to keep that on A as well. I don't like that either. Let me see how it sounds with the track. No. Let's do this. Yeah, that works. Cool. So just copying this chord and then placing it over here and then transposing it down to D, that works. And this winds up being a super simple chord. I mean, it's just D, 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 and then 1A. So how you doing? Simple is good. Okay. So now that I've got this vibe down, this little foundation, we can go ahead and try some melodies. So I'm going to put the chords on a sampler channel, and that way when I'm going to make the melody, I can kind of see what notes are playing. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up some processing here. I do have to blur the screen because I got some sensitive information on here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the processing that I did for my jungle remix, because this kind of lead that I'm picturing in my head is kind of similar to that. And wow, the jungle remix lead has no processing. That's great. Why is that? Hold on. Maybe I need to go to the group. Hello? Where's my processing? Found it. Cool. So particularly what I'm after is some nice reverb and delay so that I have a nice space to go off of. So some delay here. Let's bring down the dry wet, and then let's put the reverb on. Okay. I'm going to also introduce some glide here. There we go. See, now we got a little bit of that arena feel. I don't know what this was. No, I'm trolling. Okay. Melodies. Let's see if we can think of a melody today. Okay, so I don't know how I want this to end here, but let's copy this over. Okay, so I'm not super crazy about it at the moment, but let's just try to see this idea through. I think one thing that will really help bring this to life is some pitch bending. As you guys know, that is something your boy really, really likes a lot. So let's see if that will do us justice today. Okay, there's something about this that I just don't like right now. So we're going to try to change the key. Let's go to G minor. Let's bring down this, which... yeah, it was playing. I'm like, was it even playing? Let's bring down the chord progression to G and the melody. Just mute the chords. Yeah, I think that's what I don't like. I don't like the chord progression. Wait, so now I'm curious if we go back to A and then I unmute, or rather I keep the chords muted. Let's try this. Ooh, I'm feeling a little something. Oh, hold on. This is going to take me a second, but I hear it in my head so clear. Hold on. And I want to copy this pitch bend over too. No. And I'm wondering if we can adjust the baseline to better match this. So imagine if it went... And then maybe, just maybe, could we go... And then we desperately need to change the key. Let's go to C maybe. Yeah. And maybe it'll sound better if we keep the note shorter. Ooh, see, now I'm really digging this. We need to find the right key, though. I can just do this, too. I always forget I could do this. You can transpose all of them. So now we can try, like, B minor. Which sounds pretty nice. And I'm curious to try G sharp minor. This is too low though, hold up. And then let's go back to A. Let's try that too. Yo, I have no qualms with this. I think this is dope. So let's go ahead, and I want to start building out the lead stack, actually. I really like this as the core lead, but we need more vibes. We need more energy. We need everything. So let's build out the leads here. Let's go back to Spire. Actually, I'm sorry. I want to go to Nexus first because I want to get the layer that's going to really make this feel like progressive house. I need like a nice smooth super saw. And then after that, I'm going to get like a really aggressive layer. But first, let's start with the smooth super saw vibe. Let's see what we got here. So this is dope, but it's too noisy. So if we take out some highs. And what I did, as you can see by the name, in Jungle, this was actually the lead group. So I think I'm going to copy that. We'll route the main lead to a different track, and then we'll route everything to the lead group. So far, it's just that main lead, and then this supersaw lead. Okay, now I want to get another lead in. Something a little more aggressive. That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's what I needed right there, baby. Okay, cool. So, as I'm working on this more, I don't know if I love the melody yet. Sometimes these like simpler melodies, because this melody is really simple and repetitive, sometimes that could be a good thing, sometimes a not so good thing, sometimes that could be boring. At the moment, I'm not trying to obsess over it too much. I kind of want to just focus on getting the idea down, and then if I decide later that the melody's kind of trash, I could always switch it. But for the time being, I want to just try to build an idea that we can at least vibe to. Okay, so right now we're going to just add some pitch bending to all the layers. I already routed that last layer from Spire to the main automation clip. And now I'm going to make a new one for Nexus. For some reason, I've always found that the Nexus pitch bend, it doesn't always work well if you link it to like a pitch bend that belongs to Spire or Serum. It's a really nerdy, weird thing that I figured out. So I always like to just duplicate it and then recreate another one to go along with it. I believe it's because Nexus is technically a ROM sampler while the other ones are synths. So I think that makes some kind of difference with the way it pitches. But anywho. And maybe just for the supersaw layer, I'll actually pitch it up, or pitch it down rather, less. Whoops, pitch this back down to A minor here. I think what would make this atmosphere sound work even better with the leads is if we panned it side to side. So let's do that right now with Pan Man. Nope, I just opened up Microshift. Let's do that with Pan Man real quick. Okay, so now it's all about that bass. Word to Megan Trainor. What I want to do is get some kind of like big room E stomping bass vibe going. So let's open up Serum. The one, the only. And let's go to work here. So there's one sound that I really like to use. It is called this one. Nice bouncy bass. We'll start by chopping this rhythm so that it's kind of playing like a big room kick. Open up the decay a little bit. Sick. Maybe hit him with a little double. Now, it also might be cool if we slid down on the sustained notes here. So, for example, we can put a little F right here. Ooh, yeah. I don't know why this one sounds funky to me. Maybe I could slow it down a little bit. Yeah, that sounds better with that. 209 milliseconds. Okay, so now we're going to work on this bass a little bit. Make it sound... I want to use the word vibey so bad. No, I'm kidding, actually. In this case, I don't want it to be vibey. I want it to be mean. But particularly, I want to space it out a little bit because it's so fat and down the middle, and that's not what I actually want to use this bass for. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use different basses for that purpose. But for this one, I almost want to turn this into a mid-range bass. So what I'm going to do is we'll open up RC20 to start. And I really like this group of presets up here, the ones called Flex, or Flux rather. Yeah, so like digital is sick, and then what if we introduced a little bit of width? And we can do that with what? Let's try space. Psych, I lied. No, see, the thing is, I don't want reverb on it. So I was trying to do like a chorus effect, and maybe there's a way to do that, but to be honest, I don't use RC20 all that much. I kind of just throw a preset on it and call it a day. So I don't feel like figuring that out right now. So I'm just going to use a plugin that I know will do the job. We can use Microshift. Let's put the focus up to like, say, 1K-ish. I lied. Sorry. 1K and it doesn't really do anything. Okay, that sounds good right there. Next, what I'll do is I'll use an EQ, and now we'll clean this up a little bit. So, for example, we're going to cut all the sides below, I like 155. So now all of this is mono. And now we need to dirty up this bass. Let's use thermal. Make it nice and aggressive. That works. Yeah, so this is obviously really extreme. What I like to do sometimes is I like to get to this point of energy and grit, and it's dope, and then I clean it up after. Yeah, so it's actually like this mid-range area. Let's reduce the mix on the micro shift because it is making it really wide, obviously, and that's taking up a lot of room, and I don't want the bass to be that wide. So I'm just going to reduce that a bit, also reducing this mid-range so that the leads are still cutting through. And that sounds ultra mean. I love that. All right, so next I want to get a clean sub in to layer with this bass here. All right, sorry we had to deal with that. Let's dial in. What was this bass? It was 209. Oh, shit. I'm messing it up. Shit. Oh, brother. This guy stinks. Okay. Yeah, 209. So, we got the prog sub here. And I actually might go for prog sub 1. Prog sub 1, if you guys have this pack, prog sub 1 is... It has way more harmonics. Like, crazy harmonics. Prog sub 2 is a lot cleaner. So we'll see which sounds better with our bass. But let's dial in that 209. It was always enabled? No. Okay. Nah, actually, prog sub 2 is the way we want it to be cleaner here. All right, awesome. So now we need a bass that's going to cut through and make the whole entire stack a bit more energetic. Because obviously right now it's got that really aggressive kind of like woofiness to it. Like this bulk, which is dope. But I also like to layer something really gritty and almost chintzy in a way. Something really crispy so that you kind of get best of both worlds. Let's try this one. And I'm going to shorten up the notes just a little bit here. Then we can increase the release. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, super sick bass. Now, another thing that I'm going to do real quick is open up another EQ. And I'm just going to cut some of this 100 out. Because this is like super fat and it's killing the mix right now. Yeah, this is dope. Let's try adding stutterizer. I was going to say I want like that galloping rhythm. Let's try that. Sorry, I'm listening to this and I'm like, maybe we go more of a classic route. We'll see. I feel like we can go both ways. Really just changing the bass will affect that. I do want to get some like drums in though. That will help your boy out. Make my decision. Let's get a nice kick in. We need some sidechain. Sorry, I just want to make sure my settings are right. Okay, they are. Okay, for the sub. That sounds good. For our fat 100 bass. So it's funny, this bass, it has so much, like, I feel like this bass is really muddy, but it doesn't have that bassy feeling that I want. Which happens sometimes when you're sound designing. A lot of times in these situations, I'll actually just layer a sound that has that, like, thick feeling that I want with this one. But I do want to see if I can add it back in with an EQ myself. So it's weird. It's like you're trying to remove the mud, but the same region also provides power. Kind of worked though. Now, I definitely, on this galloping bass, I don't like how gritty it is, so that's better. Keeping some of it, of course. But I don't want it to be that noisy. Okay, let's get more drums in. Yeah, maybe some shakers could be cool too. But for this style drop, the shaker should be really thin and also be sidechained. Yeah, I was gonna say, let's get like a crash in now. Maybe we can bring a little bit of air back in on the super saw. Get a little crash effect in. Okay, we're going to do a little bit of work on the leads briefly. I just want to really add air in. I'm going to try to do it in an extreme way first with an exciter. Let's see how this sounds. Sounds dope. Okay, that actually worked better than expected. Okay, so now a main ingredient that we are missing in this drop are chords. So let's go ahead and let's get that in there now. I'm going to first start with Spire. I want to layer I call it like a bite supersaw. So one that actually doesn't sound like a supersaw. It kind of sounds like more of like a buzzy trance lead. I really like doing that and then layering that with a supersaw. So you can see what I mean with this style sound. And then if we go in and get chords, should sound pretty cool. So I'm going to layer this sound with a supersaw in just a second, but first let's make some chords. So this time I'm going to start with basic triads. And like I mentioned earlier, I want to find a way to make these a little bit more unique. And you can do that with inversions, and then you can also do that with like just messing around with different combinations. So for example, what I'm trying to say is you can take, for example, this guy and move it to F. But you could leave this the same. And then you could take this guy and like move it up. Or you could take this. So it's basically just inverting the chords in different ways. Like that actually looks and sounds good to me. We'll bring it down an octave. And then here we can go keep C here, so that's uniform. We can go to G, and then we can go to E. Could go to F sharp if we want to make it spicy. Yeah. I actually don't even know if that's the right time to go to F sharp. Let's go. All right, so let's go to the mid-side chain here. Yeah, very solid chords, and then now we can layer this with a supersaw. So now let's go to Nexus and just layer a simple supersaw here. Raise it up an octave. I don't like how the notes are too close together where it starts to sound like one sustained pad. I want there to be rhythm and choppiness. And then maybe instead of the mids chain, we'll go classic. Okay, this big bass, it's taking up a lot of room. We're going to make another EQ adjustment here. On the big bass, I do want to add some R bass back. Rather, I want to add harmonics back to the low end, and R bass is just such a great way of doing that. The way I look at it is I basically I customized the sound designed it, and then cleaned it up, and then now I'm adding a little bit of power back into the sound. Yeah, which sounds great. Yo, super, super, super sick. I want to clean it up just a little bit, though. It sounds like, besides the leads, it sounds like everything is kind of like mush. So I want to reduce that. I want there to be a bit more clarity. And I feel like that can happen in the supersaw department. So, yeah, this supersaw is a little bit crazy. Let's see if we can swap it with a different one. Much better. This has a little bit of attack too, which is nice. Now on the chord group, well, really, I just have both of the chord sounds routed to this one mixer track, so I guess this is kind of like the chord group. I'm going to cut off the lows. I want to tame this region a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of harsh. Make spectral. Awesome. I'm going to make another EQ now, and then this time we're going to focus on the mid-range. Try to carve out a little bit more room for the leads. Sick. Now, I want to go back to the leads because they're dope, but I am missing a little bit of something. So I think for me, the biggest thing that I'm missing right now is like a gritty high end. So we can actually do something interesting. We can grab... I was going to say we can grab the main sound, but we can probably also grab a different sound too. But essentially what we're about to do is we're going to isolate the highs of this new layer and just have it in the mix as a kind of, what's it called? Like a crispy layer, basically. So this lead has really cool highs. We could try it with this one. And normally for this trick, you want to really isolate the highs. However, I do feel like this extra information right here might sound good. So we're going to try it. Let's put it in the lead group. I want to reduce this. Oh, the side chains are already at 80%. Maybe we'll reduce it more. Yeah, adding that extra layer just kind of brings the whole entire stack to the front a little bit more. Okay, so check this. This is why we were supposed to isolate the highs. So basically what's happening is we're making the entire lead stack a lot harsher, and that's because all of this extra like 2K to 5K region is playing. So we're really supposed to isolate the highs here, just like that. That way we can crank this, get that crispiness, but not get that harshness. I also want to EQ the entire lead group a little bit, and maybe for that I'll use fresh air instead. Let's try that. Super sick. What I want to do on this bass, the galloping bass, if you will. So I want to make it cooler because right now I feel like the leads are solid. We've got a really cool pad in. The main like beefy basses, like the 100 bass and the sub, they feel so nice. But this bass feels a little standard to me. And I think that if we spice it up, it'll help everything kind of sound a bit better. So let's go for that same trick. Let's try RC20. And I want to try some like weird preset. Like that's ridiculous. That sounds so sick. See some other ones. Yeah, there's some cool ones in here. Maybe this one. No. I liked where we were going in the beginning. What was it? I'm thinking if we cut out all the mud, that might be fire. All right, I really like this direction, but we need to do a little bit more to it. This thing needs to move not only with the stutter effect, but also with like some kind of phaser or something. I think that'd be super sick. Let's go ahead and let's get the Sound Toys phaser. I really like that one. Except, where did I put it? Phase Mistress, ¿dónde está? Here we go. Bang. Yes. And then the whole thing needs to be way more aggressive. Perhaps now we can bring back the highs. Yeah. Let's remove that, and then now let's add even more crunchiness and crispiness with good old thermal. We love thermal here. Okay. Very, very nice. We could add some clap effects now and some little fills. I think I'd love to do that. Oh, actually... I think we should also get some big kind of downlifters. We already have the long crash, but I think we get another one in there. Maybe that one could work. Or maybe we do an exhaust. I think I'd prefer that. This exhaust is dope, but I actually want it to be playing at a lower frequency, but I don't want to pitch it down, so I'm going to use a frequency shifter. Yeah. I want to have more of that sound, which that helps. Okay, and something else that I'm realizing, it's driving me crazy, so we got to do it right now. But the new bass with all the effects that I threw on it, it's really muddy, and that's not the job of this bass. So I can really sculpt out this region. I'm going to do it with DST. Yeah, because we already have these other fat basses playing. Bring back a little bit of it, but overall, that's a really good thing. Really good move out of your boy. All right, so next up, we've got some fills in. we could definitely go even crazier with the fills, but I wanted to get the effects in, which is nice, and maybe a little bit of simple noise as well. No, let's just go here. Hold on. Yeah. Okay, copy this over. You know, I don't want to go too crazy right now, but I do feel like we can even push these leads further. So I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, they were sounding a little muffled to me. Okay, fire. Now, what else do I want to do? Well, there's obviously room for the small details like the little fill, right? So I guess we could do that next. Let's go to the lead stack, the lead group. And let's get in a filter. We can get rid of this. We're not using that. Let's put this down here. Okay. So for the filter, we will use Fruity Simplon. Now this is just Fat Filter Simplon, but I made a little patcher thing of it so that I can quickly automate without having to do that like extra step that you have to do in FL. But yeah, it's just a basic filter. And what I'm thinking is for this fill, we can just simply filter it down and then filter it back up. You could also high pass it too. And maybe the high pass should look like that, actually. I'm curious if we just mute 2 of these. This is so random, but as I'm listening to the leads in solo, I was just thinking that we experiment with this, because although I will admit I'm not crazy about this melody, maybe doing this will help a little bit, make it sound less monotonous or repetitive. Yeah, that actually helps a lot. That's dope. Okay. All right, now for this fill, we could also take out the clap, take out the crash, take out that. We can just simply throw in a little snare fill. And sometimes I like to take out the bass completely and put an impact. Sometimes I like to keep the bass in there. I think for right now, we should just try an impact. I think that might sound cool. Let's go and get that bad boy in there. Yeah, like one of these guys. Fire. Now, to accompany this impact, it also might be dope to have a little riser. We can just go for like a super standard riser. We're gonna just take this one and we're gonna shorten it so much so that it becomes a 1-bar riser pretty much. So like that. And then we'll pitch this up to A, 3 semitones up. Oh, actually, I don't like that. I thought it was going to rise in pitch. No, let's get something else in. That was kind of fire. Hold on. Yo, psych, I lied, by the way. I missed my pitch bends. Bring them back. Bring them back. But the riser sounds dope. To finish off this little snare fill, we definitely need the big snare. I'm going to use the one from Novocaine. And I think I also used it in My Bones as well. Yeah, this is like one of my favorites to use. How does it sound if we chop this? Okay. Sorry, I was in the zone for a second. I was just listening to it on repeat. So we've got some effects. We've got a little cheeky fill going. We've got effects and drums to accompany that fill. Now, the kind of core of this idea is down now. Like, of course, we can add more details. Like, I'm thinking layering this with another cool atmosphere bed might be dope. For the second half of the drop, we can bring in some drums, like some shakers and stuff. I think that could be a cool idea as well. Yeah, so I guess let's just do that. Let's grab some hi-hats. I love to add an open hat for the second half of the drop a lot of times. So, whoops, like that. Well, that went off beat. All right, so we'll start to wrap this up because the whole kind of core idea is there, and I just wanted to focus on the drop today anyway. So let's try to lock in real quick. I wanted to look here. I wanted to look here to add a new drone. So we're going to go to my pack here, my little personal pack, rather. There's one that I used in Jungle, and it was super sick, but I don't remember if I saved it or not. Ugh. Hold on. Shout out the new search feature in FL. I mean, it's not super new, but I absolutely love that. Here we go. I don't think I technically like finished processing the sound and stuff to get it ready for like the sample packs, which is why I couldn't find it. But anywho, C sharp, C. I could rock with C, but let's see what A sounds like. B, A sharp, A. 3 more. Yeah, that's super sick. Are you kidding? So almost we can have this guy kind of playing the mid-range and then this guy playing the high end. And if we're going to rock with that, then we take a little EQ, we hit him with one of these tilt shelves. Bang. I want another kind of fill to go along there. Or rather like another snare. Let's see. Yeah, like maybe we could just steal the end here. Or maybe we'll use the whole thing. Let's see. Oh, hold on. Forgot this is not 130. Yeah, that's dope. Copy over the effects here just because why not? And maybe for this section it'd be more appropriate to filter out the basses, but for now we could just chop it out. There we go. That works. I also wanted to quickly get some more fills in. Yo. This is dope. Let me see. I have a question. The question was about effects. I would love to put a little something extra here. We could duplicate the crash. That's something I like to do sometimes. Or we can even swap it out with... Or not swap it out, but we can add a new downlifter as well. Let's see how that sounds. This one's a bit long for my case, so maybe shorten it. Yeah, that works like a charm, actually. Let's do that. And one other thing that I can do for sure is I can spice up this section more by using some kind of top loop to go along with this. Because if we just listen to this, it's good. Just a little boring. I need something to like spice it up a bit. Let's see. I'm kind of tempted to use that, but I wanted to try to keep this video not super long. So I'm going to skip that, because if I were to use that one, I would have to do a bunch of processing in order to make it work. But like I said, ain't nobody got time for that right now. Maybe this could be fun. Little techno loop, but slow it down. Yeah, adds a little bit more spice, a little bit more rhythm. I like that. Alrighty, there we have it. So before we do the final listen back, I think what I can do real briefly is I can use two sounds real quick to kind of simulate a quick build-up. I'm not going to do a whole entire build-up, but what I could do is I can take, for example, a little reverse synth. I can take this guy, and then let's pitch this to A. Is that the first note that I play? Yeah, okay, A. So we can have this play A. And then I can take the protocol build snare, because I have a little fill in there. And then we could just start it like, let's say, right here. All right, so that'll do. And this is kind of like almost a 90-minute, it wasn't quite an hour. I think it's probably closer to 90 minutes. A little 90-minute challenge. So this is actually really, in my opinion, really instructive, because you can see within 90 minutes, you can hopefully create a nice idea. And then from here, you can say, do I like it? Do I not like it? Do I want to move forward with it? But, you know, if you're a producer, which I'm assuming you are if you're watching this video, something that I can recommend is to get in the habit of like this, making these ideas, kind of churning them out relatively quickly, and then after deciding, hey, that idea that I made, do I like it? Do I want to work on it more? Or are we chalking it and we're going to start on something new? Because the name of the game is making a bunch of ideas and picking the best ones. So with that being said, this was fun to make. Let's take a listen from the top and let's see what I came up with. So there you have it, folks. Episode 55 is a wrap. Hopefully I kept that under 90 minutes. that was my goal for this one. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy today's video, please be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time I upload. Be sure to check out my Patreon. We got monthly sample packs, feedback lessons, much more. The link for that will be down below in the description. So that'll be all for me today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.